Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Student Trustee Candidate Forum. My name is Juan Mendoza. I sit on the Elections Committee. What this forum is about is we are going to be introducing the candidates that are running for Student Trustee. To my right, we have Karrawinds. To my left, Mike Casa. Why do you feel you are qualified for this position?
My name is Mike Casa. I'm currently the student body president here at San Jose City College. As a student here for the last 2.5 years, I've come to grown to be really involved in student advocacy, social justice issues. Being at the Board of Trustees meetings for the last 3 months, I've been having to be the student voice for the San Jose City College campus and making reports to the student trustee, and since the student trustee that was elected, since he wasn't there, to give updates on what's going on with our campus. I feel that it'd be, for me to take over the position and also to remain the student body president would be beneficial because I'm well aware of what's going on in the campus, and I sit on many committees, shared governance committees, and so I feel that as a student trustee, I would just fill that position that's needed right now. Thanks.
Ms. Salters?
I've been here on this campus for almost a year as a student at San Jose. In that year, I have worked as a club president. I have worked as an AS rep. I have continued also to work in the AS as the Region 4 delegate. I've worked on this campus to make sure the students' voices are heard, not only in our campus, but within our region, but also in our state. I currently serve as the Region 4 vice chair. That's over 13 community colleges, but I sit on committees not only on this campus, but committees within our region, and I have attended meetings on the state level to make sure that advocacy is heard. I am the chair of the advocacy committee for the region, and I'm always continually trying to think outside the box of how to better serve our students, and I continually try to bring these ideas and thoughts to our current AS council here on our campus. Things such as the Pink Slip campaign and things of that nature. As of being qualified for the position, I've read the 2007 Student Trustee Handbook. That was the most current one on campus. I have been asking many questions of different student trustees within the state of how things are for them and how best I could prepare myself. I have been asking questions of the trustees that are currently sitting on our board. And I've also been asking questions of the California Community Colleges Association Student Trustee President, Ms. Emily Kenner, who is the student trustee at De Anza. So I think that with those particular things, I feel qualified for this position, and I could come forth and advocate very well for our students with the Board of Trustees. Thank you.
What intrigues you about this position?
I think what intrigues me about the position of student trustee is another chance for us to be a voice for our students. It's another chance for us to be an advocate, a strong advocate for our campus, for our students, for our programs, to make sure that when an item comes up before the Board of Trustees, that the voice, not only of myself, because I'm just a conduit for our students, but for every student on this campus is heard, that every viewpoint is heard, to make sure that no matter what is before the board, that there's a thought process of how the students feel, how will they react. I think that I could do that very well. I like to think of not just myself when I'm sitting in a leadership role, but for everyone that I represent. And I think that that is our main goal in being a student trustee.
Mr. Casas?
What would intrigue me is to be bringing in some grants and working with outside community sponsorships that are willing to, if we create a program here at San Jose City College for outreach programs to high school students, that we have an opportunity to bring in up to $1 million in grants here. I just recently got out of a meeting this afternoon with our Vice President, Dr. Burns, and she is, I'm actually going to be sending her some information where our college would be one of the first ones in San Jose or in the Santa Clara County to participate in bringing in grants up to $1 million for students, high school students, and grants that could be used here at campus for services for those current students and new enrolled students. So as a student trustee, that would intrigue me and my interest in and look into those outreach programs.
What are your time constraints this semester? How much time do you think you could spend on the position? And also, do you think that you will be able to go to all the meetings?
I made sure when I registered for classes for next spring that I left my time opens for Thursdays and Tuesdays. So Thursdays I would be open to going to the Board of Trustees council meetings. Also Tuesday night, or not Board of Trustees, but the board council meetings, which is on Thursdays at 3. And then Tuesday nights at 6, I left those open so I can attend the meetings twice a month at the Board of Trustee meetings. The remainder of this semester, I'm open to attend all the meetings that are left, the 29th and the 13th of December. And as far as my transportation goes, I'm going to be getting a vehicle hopefully within a week or two so I can be mobile. So, and right now, the only classes I'm taking is during the morning and afternoon. My latest class gets out at 12 or 1:40, Mondays and Wednesdays. So I'm pretty much available to serve as a student trustee and also as student president to fulfill my hours that are required.
Tuesdays and Thursdays currently for me for the semester, I don't have any classes. So I'm already for Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm normally here on campus, and it's my days to work on my office hours and attending to different programs that I'm trying to oversee to get implemented here on our campus. I'm already attending the Board of Trustees meetings. I've been to the last 3 meetings that they've had, and I've sat in and I've listened and taken really great notes and come back here to the campus. Also for next semester, my schedule has already been, I've already chosen my schedule and registered for those classes, and I chose the classes in mind with having the availability for Tuesday and Thursday nights. I would like to also respond to Mike's comment about grants here on campus. One thing that we can continue to look at for possibly a moneymaker for our campus is if we do get the EcoPass passed for our campus, we can look into recruiting more international students. And as it's been said to me, that more international students means more money for our campus.
What factor would you believe to be the only thing standing in your way of being a good trustee?
Honestly, Mike. And it is a good factor. And I think that's really great that we're running against each other, because I figured that either one of us who wins, the students win. A strength that I have for that could possibly be different is bringing in the idea of looking to see with the Board of Trustees what's going on outside of our Board of Trustees, meaning what's going on at different levels of Board of Trustees across our state. So having a really close relationship with Ms. Emily Kenner as the president of Casa, and also with a student trustee like Rich Copenhagen, who's from a different region. I'm able to look at things possibly not just on our campus, but a little bit more broadly, and bring that to the table that maybe there's a different solution for an issue that we're not thinking of. Maybe we can think a little bit more outside the box and bring something forth. Example would be the EcoPass. I know that De Anza had it, and I knew the price that they had, and I know that when VTA came to our campus in the spring, the price that they were quoting was a little bit too high for us, but thinking outside the box and then approaching VTA as a district, so with Evergreen and San Jose together, we're then able to cut down the price. So once again, is that ability to think outside the box and looks for solutions that may not automatically come to mind. I think that is a strength that I have and that I could bring to the Board of Trustees.
I can't foresee the future, so anything could possibly happen. There could be an accident, could be my health, but lately my health has been really good, so I wouldn't think any of those things would be anything that would challenge me from being a good trustee. The only other, I'm doing well in my classes, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. I got A's and B's right now. I'm holding a good grade. I got a 3.2 GPA, not unlike someone else that's a 4.0. But I don't see anything that would really hold me back unless I just gave up on wanting to fulfill my position as student trustee or president. I mean, I don't see any of that happening because I have a passion to serve the students here at San Jose City College, and I want to continue growing that passion by doing anything and everything that I can to provide the best services that this school deserves. by working with those programs that I was mentioning and trying to bring in more money, just like Greg Nelson did recently when he partnered with Microsoft and he brought in the band with Microsoft, and we got $25,000 out of that. If I can continue to work with, outside groups that would be willing to, donate some money to our campus that we can use in programs here, the more the better. Even with our vocational programs in the back, I'm looking to bring in a program or a day of like we had for the Veterans Day is to bring in some programs that would help the students that go to the air conditioning programs in the back or the machine technology or the laser technology. I want to bring in a day where we have vendors come in on campus where those students can possibly once they graduate they can probably get a job to them. Some of the other things that I'm, as a trustee, that I would hope that wouldn't. Yeah, I think I don't foresee anything that would hold me back from, doing my best as a trustee. So that's all I got.
How do you plan to collectively get the students' voice to take to the Board of Trustees with you?
Well, some of the things that I've been doing lately is I've been going to and attending the club meetings, and I've been getting some feedback from them on some of their concerns, like when they're having their meetings. Some of the other things that I'd like to take back is recently we had a survey for students for financial aid, and once I got an appointment next week with Takeo, and we're going to go through the surveys and the ones that were left comments on it. And at the next Board of Trustees meeting, if not that one, the one on the 13th, I want to give an update. And also, I want to also give an update on all the events that the Associated Student Body has put together here at campus, whether it be the football, basketball, volleyball, Associated Student Body Government, the SJCC College Times, and just give an update, a slideshow of all the pictures and document and give, an update, at the end of the semester and what the San Jose City College students have achieved and what they continue and will achieve through the spring semester. So that's all I got.
How to get to the student voice. I think that's something that we look at all the time and say, how can we do this better? How can we make sure that we're representing our students better, because we can only represent when we're hearing our students. I know this past year we had an issue with financial aid. We can't deny that. And what was upsetting to me is I think it took till the 8th week before we had students coming to our Associated Students meeting and saying we're having an issue. It took to the 8th week. Really? The 8th week? Kind of falling down on the job if it took to the 8th week for us to get the information from the students that this is an issue. So with that being said, I think that the whole AS here on campus, but also the person who is the student trustee needs to get out there. Needs to get out there and inform the students of what we're here for, that they do have a voice, and that the best way their voice can be heard is letting us know what they're thinking. I think there's certain things that we can do, such as Mike's right, going to club meetings, been to quite a number of those, but doing surveys like we did with the financial aid, tallying up those surveys and getting the information back out to what the students are saying about those. Having polls on campus, either be those polls here actually on campus or through the San Jose City Times or on Facebook, letting students know that we have a Facebook site. Speaking one-on-one, I can't state how important this is speaking one-on-one with our students and hearing their voices, seeing what their particular issues are. Because sometimes if you just hear that one voice and then you hear another voice and they're having the same issue, it becomes bigger. I'd also like to say is doing something called classroom presentations. That's going to a classroom and talking about what your student body is doing or what your student government is doing. Also letting them have an opportunity to ask in a classroom in a controlled manner, what are you doing about this? Holding us accountable. Coming back to the student trustee, coming back to the AS and saying, this is what's going on. What are your guys' thoughts on it? Or before the next Board of Trustees meeting saying, this is what we're going to be, this is what's on the agenda. Let's talk about it before we go so that I have a collective opinion on your thoughts and your feelings about this. I think that's something that needs to be stepped forward and done so that we're not just kind of the student trustee going in there blind on certain issues. We need to have the students' response before the actual meeting so we have an idea of how we can represent you better. So I think that that's the area that we can move into and better represent our students.
How do you plan to inform the student body about the information you learned at these meetings?
I was just speaking to a student about that. I think that writing a report, because sometimes when you're just giving a verbal report, things get lost. So actually written report, which is something that I do for the Region 4 delegate position. I do a written report and then I send it out through the AS so that everyone knows, because normally it's a long report. There's a lot going on within our region, also on the state level, that I'd like to pass on to our students so they're better informed. I think the same thing needs to be done for the student trustee. It's not required per our governing docs for the student trustee to do that, but I think that that's possibly a direction that needs to be moved into. Possibly our governing docs need to be changed to add that, so that something is given in a written report. Also, I'd say that the report needs to be posted on campus, so it's not just a report that just gets filed away and nobody gets to see it other than the AS officers or the people that are on the administrative council, but actually a report that is posted on campus so that students are aware of where it's at and they're able to read it, and also possibly have that report maybe posted online somewhere so that the students are continually updated on what's going on, possibly on the SJCC .edu website. I think that would actually be a really great idea for us to move forward so that our students are always informed of what's going on, but also possibly if we could leave an addition to that place where the students could have their voice, they can send things to the student trustee, concerns that they have.
I think one of the best ways to give the information out to the students is to give a report or you know, a monthly report on the Board of Trustees meetings, possibly working with the college to see if we can have it go out to like a blast email to all students, and possibly even a link to the board docs where if the students want to read the board docs and what was approved with the agendas and the minutes and anything that was reviewed throughout the month, we can give the students an update with that. And you know, I don't see why there would be a problem why a student trustee would not be able to send out an email once a month to all the students to, you know, to represent them at the Board of Trustees meetings. And you know, that's something that you know, if elected, that I would work on and to see if that can be done. Also, if it's possible, you know, have an interview at least once a month with the College Times and get the word out through them and give a little report, just like they do with the AS meetings, to have it printed in the College Times on any important matters that may have passed or may not have passed that concern the students both at San Jose City College and Evergreen and within the district. I know there's some changes coming up too that in the state as far as the withdrawal. If you withdraw with more than 3 or 4 W's, that you have to start paying out of pocket, and that's something that the state is looking into. It's not actual law yet, but it's they're working in. It is actual law. Was it 5 W's or was it 3? It was 3 W's. And also the Student Success Task Force, that the recommendations that are coming out. There's going to be some dramatic changes coming up, whether if it's passed or not. But there are some recommendations that the SSCC Council has voted against, and then there's quite a few that they both voted in favor of. So to keep that information out, or to give that information out to the students, would be one of my jobs as student trustee and also as student president, to inform them of the changes that may be implemented in the new fiscal year of 2011-2012. Not for sure yet, because it still has to go up to the legislatures in Sacramento to be heard by the state legislatures. And if it is passed, depending on which recommendations they approve, definitely, you know, that'd be my priority, is to get that information out to the students and to let them be informed of the changes that they may be looking at in the coming years. Other than that, you know, like Karrawinds says, I know we both have a lot of responsibilities. I too sit on the region as the justice, and I'm also on the gala committee, where we're having an event in January where we're inviting our local dignitaries, presidents, board of trustee members, city council members, assembly members that work at the state level, and also some senators I'm working on to come to the event on January 28th.
Thank you, Mr. Casas. Thank you both for your time. Good luck to both of you guys. We will be holding the election via email, so check your guys' email that San Jose City College has on file. On Monday and Tuesday, you will receive an email about it. Go ahead, fill it out, and send it back. On the survey, you will also find questions about the VTA EcoPass. You will also find a question about what you guys want as the school colors. Oh, and also for moving, or what you guys would prefer, having a council or a senate represent you guys. Thank you guys all for your time. Oh, question?
Yes, just one question for the two of them. I know you are both the Region 4 rep and the president of the AS. Would you see that this job interferes with either of your positions in any way? And would there be any overlap that we need to know about?
Currently, no, I don't think that there would be any overlap or any time restraints or any restrictions as far as my role here as the president and if I get elected as a student trustee. The only one I don't have the information and time yet for is the district budget committee meetings. So once I talk to the chancellor or Joy Pace from her secretary to find out what dates those are and if it's mandatory for me to be at those meetings, then I have to look into that. But that would be the only one that right now that I'm not sure of what days, that if they're on Wednesdays or Thursdays, but I need to find out. But I think as far as my responsibility as a president, the officers that I have on council right now, and hopefully the ones that we get back next spring, will be pretty well prepared to handle the any of the events. I mean, this semester, some of the officers that were on council, they weren't on council last year, so they weren't really prepared on the events and how we go about, all the committees and also the timelines for events. But other than that, I think everyone should be pretty well got their job role and responsibilities well taken care of.
Do they overlap? It's a great question. I would say yes. There's a little bit of an overlap. I think it's in a good way of an overlap, such as in the way that I would say yes is because of information. I'm going to be overlapping of information. I'll get different information concerning maybe some of the same things that I'm hearing about at the board at a Region 4 meeting or at the SJCC State Council meeting in Sacramento. I could be hearing different information that I can then share, like if I'm getting information at the State Council meeting, that would make me more effective as a student trustee when I go to the student trustees meeting, because I'll have a little bit more of an insight into those particular issues. I think that'll work in my favor to be a student trustee on our campus. So overlap, yes, in that manner, yes. An overlap when it comes to the AS, I don't think that would be an overlap. The structure is set up for the AS that the student trustee would give a report to the council. The student trustee is not a voting right, but I would like to continue to sit as the Region 4 delegate. I think that I serve very well as our Region 4 delegate. I know that so that when I'm sitting in an AS meeting and I'm making a motion and I am voting in favor, it would be clearly as the Region 4 rep, not as the student trustee, because I've stated student trustee would vote. So yes, overlap, and also a no with an overlap. I think that the yes overlap will be a positive, very much a positive in our favor for our students and for our campus, because a well-informed student trustee is a good student trustee. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Holders. Is there any other questions? Seeing that there's no other questions, I would like to just remind everybody that we will be having the election on Monday and Tuesday of next week via email. There will be a link and you will go to a survey. Unfortunately, the fact that we're doing it online, I can't give you guys a sticker that says I voted. So, sorry about that. Thank you all for attending the forum. Have a nice day.